Welcome, everybody, to the Monrovia City Council recap for October 15th, 2024. My name is Julie Bank, and with me is...
Jodine Wood.
And we are the Blue Twinsies today. We are excited to be here to recap this, what I will say was a very long meeting.
Very long.
So that's the point of these recaps, is so that you can quickly look at something that might be interesting to you, and we can move forward and you can learn more about it. So the meeting started at 7:31 p.m. We had an invocation by Joel Larson, and we also had the Pledge of Allegiance by Councilmember Jimenez. There was no closed session report, and it jumped right to proclamations and I forgot the other term, proclamations and reports.
Yep.
And that was long. I know I keep saying it was long, but there were a lot of really wonderful, meaty proclamations and reports. It started with PR1. Assemblyman Chris Holden came, if you don't know, he is not renewed for this year, so this will be the last time that he greets the city of Monrovia, and he spent his time going through his accomplishments and talking about the work that he's done since 2012 and some recent bills, and it felt a little bit like he was going over his legacy.
Yeah, and again, it's apropos because he is going to be leaving. He did talk about one of the big projects, obviously, is the rail extension, which has been important and has an impact, both good and bad, in the area. But it is exciting. I mean, I'm a big proponent, and he said, to get cars off the highway, I'm like to get people out of their cars. We, live in Southern California. For most of the year, we have amazing weather. We should be building infrastructure to help people bike, walk, skateboard, whatever it is, not just adding more cars. So I'm really excited that the rail line is getting extended.
And we're going to talk more about that in a few minutes, because we had a whole presentation about the railroad. So I'm going to hold you for that. His conversation ended at 18:10, so he talked for a very long time. And then we moved to PR2, which was the Pasadena Humane Society was there with Pebbles, and they wanted, who was a 6-year-old mix, and they wanted everybody to know that November was Adopt a Senior Dog Month, and if you're open to senior dogs, which is my favorite, all my dogs are senior dogs, you can get a discount in your pet adoptions. Moving on to 20 minutes and 39 seconds in, we went to PR3, which was Make a Difference Day, October 26, 2024. And that's an exciting day. Everybody needs to come out. You can still volunteer. You or a group can volunteer. And this year they're honoring 3 organizations, the Church of Jesus Christ, the Kiwanis, and the Rotary Club, and every year they honor a different group, so it's really nice.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite events. I got involved as part of the MAP program, and we helped a veteran in his home. He couldn't get into his driveway. His car was permanently parked on the street because he couldn't use his driveway, and cleared the front yard, backyard, driveway. He very thankful he couldn't do the work himself, and I know I look at my house and it's a lot of work to maintain a house, and I'm just hoping and grateful that I have neighbors who will come out and help me when I'm senior and can't do the work myself. So if you aren't signed up already, please do. It's a great event.
Go to the Volunteer Center website, or I think it's on the city website as well. You can go check
and it was
out.
in one of the manager email letters.
Hopefully you're part of the manager emails as well, and you get them, because that's another way to get information. 29 minutes and 15 seconds in was PR4, and they talked about the Pulmonary Hypertension Awareness Month, which is November. There will be an event on November 2nd, and Barbara Golar, who you know from these recaps, apologizes that she wasn't there, but she encourages everybody to come out to talk, to support this particular event. Moved on to 32 minutes and 40 seconds in, PR5, where they did a whole presentation of recognizing retiring community development director Craig Jimenez. Just a little note, he'd been with the city for 30 years, since May 5th, 1995. Some of you were not even born then. And he has had a lot of success, and we wish him the best of luck.
Yeah, I mean, I hadn't realized he had been with the city that long. And I mean, they talked about how the things that we see today have been in planning for these 30 years.
Yep.
And just, these aren't things that happen overnight. A lot of people are concerned about the developments. Again, these are things that take decades sometimes. So the planning department is very open. They're very accessible. If you have concerns, I highly recommend going to planning meetings. They're great.
Yep. They also introduced Sherry Bermeo, who is they introduced her as the newly promoted community development director. So welcome, Sherry. We're happy to have you on board.
Yeah. Congratulations, Sherry, for your promotion.
Yep. 56 minutes, at 56 and 6 seconds in, we had the student report. Jasmine Rodriguez talked about homecoming. She talked about the upcoming Halloween event on October 30th. They're going to have a haunted hallway. And she talked about the fact that the first quarter of school has been already completed. As a parent, I'm like, gulp. Can't believe that has happened so fast. All right, 10 minutes in, they took an item out of order, and they did RCC3, which is a giant report from the Metro Safety and Security. They did an update on what they're doing to make our metro more secure. They talked about a bunch of goals. They wanted to have engaged, visible presence. They wanted to have care-based services for those in needs. They have transit ambassadors that are people to help. And for me, it was exciting. They talked about connecting with LAX next year, which you were referring to all of that. And then the second goal was access control, utilizing the transit for the right reason. They have a tap-to-exit pilot program, bathroom pilot program, weapons protection project pilot program. Lots and lots and lots of stuff going on. It felt a little overwhelming, to be honest, how much stuff was going on. And to me, I hope all of it makes a difference.
Yeah, I mean, we all know there's an issue with riding in our transit. I recently was in Europe and got to ride on, both in Amsterdam and Paris. In Paris, they just had the Olympics, so everything's clean and pretty and nice, but they're really well-run systems. And I lived in New York for a long time, and I know right now they're having an issue as well, but for the most part, I never felt threatened riding their public transit. I hate to say this, but I will not get on the train. 2 months ago, friends and I got on 8 a.m. on a Saturday to get on the train, and we felt threatened and took an Uber home. We shouldn't have that. We should be able to ride all over LA in safety. So these guys have a big job ahead of them, a really big job. And
the good news is that they outlined a whole bunch of things that they're working on. They also invited the public to give input to the Public Safety Advisory Committee, which is having listening sessions on what they're looking for in the new chief of police for the Metro. And you can give your input at a meeting on October 26th, or you can send an email to psac@metro.net. And finally, Councilmember Belden did ask a question. He encouraged the sheriff's deputies who were there to ride the trains and not just sit in the station, because he said it's hard to respond to complaints when people have to download an app. He was hoping there would be a signage and an easier way to make a complaint. Lots of meaty stuff here. Again, that was at 57 minutes and 10 seconds in. If that interests you, you should go back and look at that and listen to all of it, because it was very meaty.
Yep. Lots of info.
1 hour, 18 seconds and change in. They went to the consent calendar, and the consent calendar was motioned by Councilmember Jimenez and seconded by Councilmember Belden, and all was approved. You can, as a reminder, you can always look at the consent calendar on the website. You can see everything and all the documentation that goes to everything that's on the board meeting as well. They then also pulled another item up. They pulled CC9. Oh, I'm sorry, CC9 was pulled completely from the agenda, and they're going to reschedule that. But then they pulled an item up, and that was a report from Care Solis. Anita Ward from Care Solis came and talked about this program that the city is funding. It's a resource hotline, basically, where anybody can get resources for mental health providers and services. And that was launched in mid-May. She did a report on the program and how it's going so far. Based on the data, it did look like people are using it, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
The only complaint at this point is the concern about needing more local resources versus sending people too far away, which they may or may not be able to get to. Council member Mayor Pro Tem Dr. Kelly asked about more about the challenges and also wanted to know, what are we missing? Like, are there any resources that we're missing that they need to cover that we could all work together to try to cover?
Yeah, I mean, the number they said was outstanding. They had 2,300 service requests in 9 days.
Crazy.
I mean, outstanding, but great. I mean, this is a wonderful program that we're involved in.
Yeah, it's good. And she also spoke about needing to connect more with the local resources so that she can get to know them and they can then highlight them as a resource. 1 hour, 39 minutes in, we then jumped to public comment. There was only one public comment. Paul Giannino talked about a issue he's having on his property that's also public property, and it's about a storm channel run, and he was sent to Alex Tachiki, who is the Public Works Director, who happened to be there in the room, and he was able to go talk to him right there. We then jumped to 1 hour, 41 minutes in, and we went to public comment,
Proclamations.
Was that, no, it wasn't
the landmarking.
Oh, was that a proclamation? I thought that was a public hearing. I think it was a public hearing.
It's a public hearing.
Anyway. Go look at it 1 hour, 41 seconds in. We went to a 2024-61, which was trying to get a particular home at 271 North Encinitas Avenue to be a public landmark. It was unanimous. Councilmember Spicer motioned. Councilmember Mayor Dr. Kelly second. Every time I say that, I giggle for some reason. It comes up. And then all were in favor. But I know you wanted to say something about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just really, Monrovia is a charming town because we have all these beautiful historic homes, eclectic, very diverse. And if you feel your home is representative of that, the process isn't as difficult as it may seem. So, you know, reach out. We have a great historic preservation group that can make this really simple for you. So, if you live in one of these great, charming houses, I live in a 1924 Craftsman bungalow. Love it. I've been working on my application, which is, again, it's like a page.
Yeah.
So I highly suggest people do that because that is the way we're going to keep Monrovia charming.
Yep. All right, go do it. Fill out that form.
Yes.
1 hour, 48 minutes in, we went to city manager and staff reports, and Dylan spoke about promoting the walk, bike, roll event at the schools. He also talked about the library enhancement project plan that went to plan check and said, yes, the city has to go through the same process, and that it's going to take about 2 months for that to be approved, and that they hope, crossing fingers, that they will start with the bidding process and all of the things that you need to go next spring of next year. And then finally, he talked about the Lemon Avenue Reservoir project. There's a reservoir in Bradbury that's going to be demolished, and the community has had some concern about that. And a letter was sent to the city manager of Bradbury with those concerns, and they're going to be addressed. But I think not only did Dylan talk about the walk, bike, roll event, but others talked about it easier as well. And I know that, as you said earlier, just stop getting out of your cars and walk, bike, or roll was amazing. And this is a way to educate our kids and parents into doing that.
Yeah. I know I got a postcard about something about widening the 605, and everyone's like, we need to look at alternatives than just driving. So I love that these kids are, again, walking, riding, skateboarding, whatever it is.
Just wear your helmets.
Schools and just wear your helmets,
wear your helmets.
please. And wear bright light clothing.
Yeah.
Don't be skateboarding down
Yep.
Mayflower with a dark T-shirt on in the middle of the night.
Yep, that's right. That's right. All right, we moved on to 1 hour, 51 seconds and change in. Rebecca Sandoval, the community services department, came and talked about upcoming community events. And I am going to say this quick because this is crazy. In November, we have the O2 Walk, the Field of Honor Veterans flags. We have the Veterans Day event. We have the Old Town Transforms. We have Thankful and Grateful event. We have the prayer breakfast. We have the library events. We have Shop Small Business Old Town, and that was just November. I'm going to December. We have carriage rides on Sundays. We have holiday music on Wednesdays. We have carolers on Saturdays. We have the holiday parade on December 5th. We have a library craft workshop on the 7th, and we have New Year's Eve and New Year's Eve. Those folks are working their tail off. We have so much in this amazing city. Yeah. This is what makes this amazing city even that much more special. Please come out and go to all these. And you can go on the city website to see the calendar and to know more about them.
Yeah, if you're bored in the city of Monrovia, that means you haven't left your house.
That's right. That's crazy. There's so much to do.
So much to do and great events.
And that was November and December. Yeah. I didn't talk about October. So lots going on in October as well, specifically the holiday spooktacular that will be coming as well. All right. On 1 hour, 56 minutes in, they went to RCM4, which was the review of crime data and there was comparison between 2022 and through 2024. Chief San Victorious came on and gave I think a pretty comprehensive report on where it was and where it is today. He went over priority calls, types of calls, national incident-based reporting system calls, arrests, traffic reports, and investigations. And they all had nice graphs.
Yeah.
And it showed where they were, and he explained it all, and it had glossaries.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a great report if you want to know about crime. 1 hour and 56 minutes in. But
yeah, it was really detailed, very thorough. Unfortunately, crime is going up, but obviously I think populations are going up too, and
we're getting out of the house more.
We're getting out of the house more,
which makes things go up.
I think the important piece here was talking about that most of this is coming from repeat offenders.
Yeah.
These are people with a long history of criminal past, and we have some things to think about coming up pretty quickly here about how we handle crime going forward. And I thought this report was very well done. Yeah. Whether or not you're a crime junkie or not, do look at this. It's very digestible. I am not a crime junkie, but I do love data, and he just presented it in a very nice, digestible manner.
Yeah. I also there was this weird comment where I think Mayor Shevlin was like, and this might be your last time coming up here too. And I was thinking, is he retiring too? She didn't go into more detail, but I thought to myself, we're going to, have to see where that goes. But yes, great report. You should take a look at it and either get enraged or be happy, depending on where it is. But, and I will say the police department is there to help you digest it more. If you have questions, you can call the chief directly.
Exactly.
2 hours and 33 minutes in, which means you could tell that was a 40-minute report. We went to RCM5, which was a report from Alice Tachiki on Go Monrovia. It was a review of that program. As a reminder, that is a program where we are trying to support people with using public transportation. And that is the Lyft program as well as Metro Ride program. And I thought it was interesting because I guess he had been given a task to go look at certain things. So he also had a very meaty, very interesting presentation on when users are using these items. I thought it was really interesting when he put up the bars in the restaurants. And he put up bars in restaurants, and is it comparing to when they are using these issues? They basically had a bunch of options, and they all agreed that option 1 was the option that they wanted, which was option 1 basically said that they were going to have this Monday through Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. Friday and Saturday, they'll have extended hours, and they will have nothing on Sundays. This program won't be on Sundays. They also said that they were going to switch things. So right now, it is the ride is $3.
Yeah.
This way, they were going to subsidize up to $3, and then the rider has to pay the difference if there is a difference. Bottom line is they didn't vote on anything here, though. This really was just information gathering and information sharing. And at a future council meeting, they will be doing more of a vote.
Yeah, so I use the Go Monrovia Lift Pass extensively, and it's a great program. If you're not aware, currently how the program works is within the city boundaries, and then also to several medical facilities, whether it's City of Hope or the medical facilities in Arcadia, whether it's the hospital or even like it goes down to the 612 building, you can take Lyft for a flat $3 ride. Again, like in the summer when my kids come home, we're taking it down to Myrtle and going down, and even if it's just to have an ice cream, but like my friends and I, now that we're empty nesters, we can go day drinking and take Lyft.
We'll have to have a show just on the day drinking and where she goes.
So, I mean, I'm a huge proponent. I was sad to hear of changes to it. Obviously, more people need to take advantage of it. I just think it's probably an awareness thing.
No, I think it's a price. I mean, what I heard yesterday was that it's a pricey thing we have, and they're trying to balance the use with the cost and how to maintain something like this.
Yeah.
But the good news is they're talking about it, and that it's not going away, and that there will be opportunities for people to use it, and please use it, because we'd rather you use that when you're day drinking rather than getting behind the wheel of a car.
Exactly. And it is. I mean, when you use it, you do see the actual cost, and it's a big difference. So the city, the people chipping in for this are covering a large cost, and thank you for that.
Yep. Yes, thank you for that. All right, 2 hours, 47 minutes in, they had the council reports. And as always, there is a ton going on in the city of Monrovia. Mayor Pro Tem Dr. Kelly encouraged us to partake in the farmers market, reminds us about Saturday farmers market, reminded us Halloween Spooktaculars on the 31st, that October 19th there will be a Quake Rattle and Roll event for kids. And she also attended an event where she celebrated commissioners. Councilmember Belden talked about the Walk, Bike, Roll event, Read Across America, Fall Festival and Fire Prevention Day. He said that there will be a Coffee with the Cops on October 23rd if you want to go to that. And then reminded us about the importance of recycled water. Councilmember Jimenez thanked Tina and Rebecca from Community Services for all these events, spoke about some senior lavender event, which sounded pretty cool. Yeah. They went to some lavender farm. And also talked about the Hispanic Heritage Foundation event. Councilmember Spicer reminded everybody that there's a workshop at the Community Garden South on October 2nd. Yep. And then Mayor Shevlin talked about, I think this was important, the LA County Office of Homelessness, or the LA County, I'm not sure which department, introduced a Good Neighbor Pledge. And we have a new law that allows cities to remove those experiencing homeless. And this Good Neighbor Pledge is asking cities, before you just go to enforcement, to work together and to try to deal with the challenges, and that the cities shouldn't be so different. There should be a coordinated and a regional response. She asked for input from the other council members. They all agreed that they would support this, and they directed Dylan to prepare a letter to be sent in of support.
Yeah, I mean, I do think it's our responsibility as citizens to take care of our own, and these are our people. These people are our neighbors, and it's our job to go out and help where we can. Yeah.
And it's a process. It's not just you immediately remove, because unfortunately people will be back. So it's a process. Also, October 19th, there is a car show in Old Town. They kept talking about this car show the whole time, so obviously it's going to be a fun one. And also on October 19th, there's a mulch giveaway.
Oh, that's a big one. It's it's mulching time. It's almost planting season for the year. So the weather's starting to cool, and if you don't have your mulch down already, now's the opportunity.
Yeah. Reminded everybody October 3rd is daylight savings time here already. Told everybody to support MAFA.
November 3rd.
Oh, November 3rd?
It'd be November 3rd.
November 3rd. I wrote down October. I'm still in October. Thank you. November 3rd. MAFA, every second Friday, has an art exhibit at Grain Cash and Old Town Pizza. On the 29th, there's the Native Plant Sale. On the 17th, it's the Great America Shakeout. You can learn more at shakeout.org. She also talked about Gloria Krejcic's service, and that was beautiful. And if you missed it, you'll be able to go on KGEM and watch it. And then she reminded everybody that, she said, weird way to end this, but I'm reminding everybody that dengue fever is now here and that we have to all be remember to tip, toss, and protect when it comes to mosquitoes. And then she said that there was a swab event for a Monrovian named Andrew Natal, who's looking for donor matches. And if you're interested in participating there, you can go to nmdp.org. She also reminded everybody that the council is dark on November 15th, so the next meeting will be November 19th. And then finally, at the meeting adjourned at 10:38 p.m. in the honor of John Jansen and Gary Mondria, I think, in their memory, and their hearts went out to the family. So as you can see, there was a lot in this meeting, and it always reminds me that how much is not only going on in this amazing city of ours, but how much we have to pay attention to.
Yes.
Which is why we encourage everybody to watch these meetings.
Yep.
And if you can't watch these meetings, we encourage you to watch these recaps. And then we also encourage you, if you so feel moved, to come and be part of this team.
Yeah, come. We need your voices. It's all of our community and all of our time to protect the great community that we live in. So, I mean, you can see it. There's a lot of great things going on in this city, and we should all be proud of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the first time that I've been at this table with Jodine, so it was a pleasure being with you.
Pleasure
and
to work with you.
I hope we could do this again. And next time
soon.
we have more time to talk about things, because there's just so much to cover. We had to go through it fast.
It was a doozy.
It was a doozy. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.